Okay, welcome in. You're listening to this first hour of the Cortland Economics Report. I'm Al Cortland. Appreciate you joining me. We're doing a remote here, as a lot of our segments are going to be remotes from Brian's great show down in New Orleans, Brian London's great show down there, the New Orleans Investment Conference. This is, in my opinion, one of the best shows of its kind. He has a lineup of guest speakers that just don't quit, and he also has some very, very excellent companies down there that are presenting and also that are chatting with investors. I am talking right now with one of our sponsor companies, a company that has had very, very interesting success with people who we have introduced it to. The company is Rye Patch Gold, and Rye Patch Gold was started by two veterans in the industry, Joe Casio, who is a geologist. He was the president and director of Nevada Pacific Gold from 97 to 04. He was a vice president of exploration for Ivanhoe Gold Corp. I mean, this guy really, really, truly knows what he's doing, as does his partner who is on the line with me right now, Bill Howald. Bill is the president of the company. He was, before joining Rye Patch, he was the general manager of exploration in the United States and Latin America for Placer Dome. I mean, you know, you don't get credentials much more important than that, in my humble opinion. They are working huckledebuck, for lack of better terms, in the state of Nevada. They've had some very, very good results down there, and there are some very, very meaningful players in our industry, John Kaiser, Sean Broderick, Rick Rule, among others, who are following this company. So I am very, very proud to be associated with him. Bill, how's the show down there?
Al, thanks for having me on. The show's going really good. It's, as you said, it's one of the best of its kind.
No, it really is. There's no question about that. Okay, in terms of telling our new listeners about the company, why don't we go back to the tour you put together about 3 weeks ago where John and Sean attended. What exactly did they see, and what should our investors, our listeners, be aware of?
Well, we had a great tour with John Kaiser and Sean Broderick. We saw all of our projects, Wilco, Lincoln Hill, Gold Ridge, and Garden Gate Pass. I think, you know, they were quite impressed in that I don't think the paper really does it justice. You have to get out there and see just the size of the projects. You have to see where the resources are. You get the idea that, you know, the resources are still open. And of course at Garden Gate Pass, we got to see Barrick drilling within a few kilometers of our Garden Gate Pass property.
Well, I'll tell you what I find to be really kind of interesting in this situation, Bill, is the fact that you guys are kind of the new kid on the block in the sense that you are very definitely one of the newer entrants in this particular sector with Rye Patch Gold, but you have done more than hit the ground running. You have got all the serious analysts and investors very, very interested in this company. I would have to guess it's because of you and Joe's background, the team that you've put together, and also the properties, you know, that you have in the state of Nevada.
Well, you know, it always boils down to those three things: people, project, and place. And as you know, Joe and I have backgrounds where we've done exploration all the way from grassroots up to mine development, not only in the U.S. but in other places around the world. So we know how to add value along the exploration process, and we've got three of our own geos that are top-notch in their own right, in that they've discovered ounces for various companies around the world, including Placer, Barrick, Agnico Eagle, and Santa Fe Pacific. So they're the real deal, and they chew up a lot of boot leather, and they've been really successful in that the company now has 3 million ounces of gold and 40 million ounces of silver across all categories.
Now we're talking about Rye Patch.
That's right.
Yeah. What do you have planned for the rest of the year? Let's say let's take this on in a couple of horizons. Let's first talk about the next 6 months, Bill.
Yeah, well, over the next 6 months, we're completing drill programs at Lincoln Hill, Gold Ridge, and earlier this year we completed a drill program over our Wilco property. What we're working towards is a new 43-101 compliant resource for Wilco in Q1 of 2012. You know, we're going to get the new high-grade zone modeled up and into a new resource. Similarly, at Lincoln Hill, we'll put out a new resource in Q2 of 2012. Right now we're drilling there on the Jefferson zone. We've had some success finding another zone we call the Roosevelt zone, where we'd seen gold values up to 97 grams and over a kilo silver at the surface, so we're anxious to get there and do some more work. But as I said, we're modeling that up, and we'll have a new resource coming out Q2 of next year. And then at Garden Gate Pass we're drilling, and we hope to make a similar discovery similar to what Barrick has found at Gold Rush and Red Hill. So we're quite excited. Lots of things coming down the pike. We hope to be kind of in a brand new category of resource developer here by this time next year.
Well, I don't think there's any question about that you will be. What I find to be intriguing is, in terms of time frame, you guys really are, you and your associate Joe, partner I guess I should say, and the rest of your team are certainly not new to the industry, but Rye Patch is relatively new, and how did you get such a quick start there, Bill?
Well, again, I think it always boils down to the people. We had opportunity to pick up a project called Wilco. That was the start of the company, and we jumped on it, and we've been able to grow the company ever since. I think one of the things you'll notice if people go back and do their due diligence on the company, they'll see that we've really met our milestones and time frames all through the last 4 years that we've been a public company.
Wow, I mean, and you have certainly done that, there's no question. Okay, so we know we have the assets in the ground, at least you are very, very comfortable with that. In terms of capital, now, you guys are pretty strong financially right now. How long will the war chest last, Bill?
Well, right now with the programs we have ongoing, we'll end 2011 with roughly $4 million in the bank. However, we have some warrants that will come due here December 24th. Hopefully they'll bring a nice Christmas present, and we'll be able to end the year then if those warrants are exercised at $8 million. So we'll have a pretty good start on 2012.
And I'm assuming that the $8 million will pretty much cover you through the next year.
That's correct. We don't anticipate, given what we currently have in our project portfolio, doing another financing in the near term.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of companies out there that would be very, very envious of that position. There's no question about that. Let me ask you a question, and that is, gold is holding up very nicely. Silver is holding up very, very nicely right now. We follow it every day. I am nothing but bullish in terms of both those precious metals. How does Bill Howald feel about that?
Well, I see gold at, I believe it's at $1,700 today. There's a lot of concern over things happening around the world, especially in Europe. And once we work through kind of the crisis we're in now, I think gold's got nowhere to go but up, because there's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines, and we know that once money starts going through the tube into various projects and whatnot, that velocity of money, that'll be inflation, and I think we'll see gold go up to its next leg.
I need to get you to come on the show and talk about that, because that is very, very true, and you seem pretty conversant in that particular subject, and I think that's very, very important. I think that the price of gold actually is got no place to go but up for a while. Bill, I appreciate you taking some time. I know that you're busy down in New Orleans. I appreciate you taking some time down there. Now, are you guys going to be in San Francisco, so some of our listeners who in that area will be able to come by and shake your hand down there?
That's correct. Yeah, we'll be in San Francisco for the Hard Asset Show there as well with a booth, and we'll look forward to seeing people there. Okay,
well, Big Al's going to be there for sure. And speaking of Big Al, he's going to be right back. Stick around.